Hello you guys, and welcome back to the channel. So for this speed art storytime video, I am going to be talking about the worst therapist that I have ever had, and this kind of backs how poor mental health services are, and therefore that's why people aren't getting the help they need. So initially, a place where I started going suddenly stopped taking my insurance card, and then my mom found this other place. Well, she was going there and then referred me, and I was given a doctor that I actually liked. She understood, took the time to listen, and this started in 2017. And then in 2018, around April, I get a call from her saying that she had to cancel my appointment because she was leaving the company for good due to personal reasons and other stuff. And then they had to find me another doctor. And then after a month, I get a letter from the new doctor, and I kind of suspected he was gonna be crap from the jump street. And then on my first day meeting him, he informed me that the old doctor, we're gonna call the old doctor Sally, okay? And we're gonna call the new Dr. Tom. So Dr. Tom told me that Dr. Sally did not lock in the computer when I was going over there. So that means the entire time I was going over there for sessions, Dr. Sally didn't record anything in the computer. Didn't record any notes, didn't record her opinions on my condition status, nothing. So I think this caused me to get the bad doctor, because there were no notes. And that goes to show how poor the services this facility had. You mean to tell me that they didn't see no notes and didn't bother to say anything? And why didn't they call me and let me know that they had no notes, and therefore they don't know who I need? So I didn't pick up right away that this doctor was garbage, but along the lines I started to. For instance, he just doesn't listen to anything I say. He just goes out one ear, comes out the other. Like, he kept asking me if I tried getting a job, and I kept telling him that I went through a program that I thought would help me get a job, but it seemed like it was more for people who were ready to get back to work, because all they ever did was job interviews and so on and so forth. And whenever I tried to explain how my anxiety affects me or depression, he'll just brush it off. Another thing is, I was in the process of fighting my disability case, and he thinks the only way you could get disability for depression is if you cry all the time. Now, someone who's supposed to be a doctor of whoever thinks that only one aspect of a condition qualifies you for benefits. There is more to depression than just crying. If I'm so depressed that I'm not in the mood to go into a job every day, have to keep calling out, don't you think that would affect me? And all he ever did was just invalidate my struggles because I didn't have the same traits as somebody else with a different condition. He didn't think I have autism because there was no record of it, because I was diagnosed late. If this airhead knew anything about autism, he would know that autism and ADHD are very alike. And females, they become accustomed to masking their autism. Like chameleons, how they change their color to fit the environment they're in, like that. And therefore it makes it harder for them to get diagnosed. And therefore when they come out as being autistic, it makes it harder for people to believe them, because they're just accustomed to hiding it. And then he claimed there was no record of it, but then when my mom was going through papers, the school, she had the paper where the school said, okay, autism diagnosis, blah, 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 blah. So in his eyes, if you have a different trait of a condition, you don't have it. And a doctor with that mentality is just not good for someone. It's not good for anyone, whether mental illness, physical illness, whatever. That's just not good. That is not a person you should be around. That's just not a person you should be around. And then it was doing me no good just having this guy just invalidate my struggles. because my traits are different than someone else's. And the one thing that made me done with him, and the one thing that was the last straw, was I walked into his office and he asked me about my vertigo diagnosis, because I believe I put that down when initially applying for benefits. And I told him I was diagnosed back in 2009 or 2010 when I, reported to the doctor of just randomly feeling lightheaded and dizzy. And because mine isn't as worse as my grandpa's, he had the nerve to tell me that I didn't have it. Can somebody please tell me? Somebody needs to tell me. Why is it that when your form is different, how does that conclude that you don't have it? That makes absolutely no sense. That's like telling someone with diabetes that they don't have diabetes because they don't have to take insulin. But little do you know, there are more than one type of diabetes. And vertigo is the same way. There's more than one type. If this doctor was that stupid to not think that there's more than one type of a condition, how did this guy get hired? Where did he get his degree? From a cereal box? They need to take this cereal off the shelf. Maybe his Fruit Loops, a Toucan Sam. Take that Fruit Loops off the shelf. So I was like, you know what? And I stopped going to that place. I stopped going because that was doing me no good. And as a result of the doctor not locking in the system when I was coming, I ended up with someone who did me absolutely no good. So this is why it's important that when you are a doctor, you lock in when your patient comes to see you, the notes you took, observations you made, etc., etc., because you will never know when you need it. And I also believe that this incompetent doctor could have been hurting my disability case, because if he thinks I don't have XYZ because there's no record of it, and then he goes off and tells the disability folks, okay, nothing is wrong, blah blah blah, then what do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna be like, okay, doctor says nothing is wrong with this person, the tribe has spoken. So what I wanted to say is that I hope this isn't seen as me painting a picture of all doctors. I'm just talking about doctors specifically like this person in question. And it is unfortunate that both the good guys and patients have to deal with this. It's really sad, and there needs to be stricter practices on getting these people in, because it could be do or die if someone is not getting the help they need. And what if somebody who is suicidal goes see that piece of garbage and he just invalidates them? Then what do you think might happen? You understand? And when you think about it, this guy in this facility did hurt my chances, because when I met with the lawyers prior to my case, it was on file that I wasn't going to the doctor when I actually was. But like I said, Dr. Sally was not recording in the system when I went over there. So that's why it's important that you do what you're supposed to. So this company's incompetence hurt my case. It hurt my case. So this is why people with mental illness don't get help, because mental health services are not good, and the good services are expensive. A lot of insurance policies do not cover them, and the co-pays are just unaffordable. So to say to someone, if you wanted to get help you would get it, is wrong, because if they could afford it, if there were good quality services, the person would get it. So the moral of the story here is that just because someone has a different form of a condition, that doesn't mean they don't have it. And just because you don't see it written down, that doesn't mean that they don't have it. And in the vertigo case, the regular doctor had it on file. Why would he need it? And I would have appreciated if he just said, I'm not the best doctor for you. I recommend XYZ. I would have preferred that over him just invalidating my stuff just because it's different. So if you guys like these speed art story times, then let me know in the comments down below. And I also want to showcase my photography, because I'm into photography, but I'm trying to think of a creative way to display it. And just a side-by-side slideshow, that's boring to me. So How would you guys go with it? Do you want me to do a photo of the day and I show a photo, or a photo of the week, show a photo? Use my photography as an outro, or just let me know some ideas y'all got in the comments down below, and then I'll pick the best ones and put it to a vote. So make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell icon for more info, and I will have a blog post on this topic in the description down below. So I will see you guys in the next video.